On March 4, 2025, in the bustling city of Atlanta, Georgia, the morning air was filled with sunlight. Warm rays of sunshine filtered through the tree canopies, illuminating the busy streets of the city. At the luxurious Grand Hyatt Hotel, Pastor Franklin Graham, a prominent figure of faith and peace, was about to arrive at a major event aimed at promoting religious unity worldwide. Franklin, the son of famed evangelist Billy Graham, carried a significant legacy within him. With keen insight and passion, he dedicated his life to serving those in need, bringing hope to despairing souls. To many, he was not only a religious leader but also a friend and a spiritual father. As the sunlight gently brushed his shoulders like golden fingers of Mother Nature, Franklin sat on the hotel balcony, looking out at the streets with a mix of excitement and anxiety. He savored a cup of coffee, his imagination soaring with dreams of peace for humanity. Yet deep within, a quiet breeze blew through, giving him a sense of unease. He felt the pressure of responsibility weighing heavily on his shoulders. Meanwhile, inside the conference room, all the volunteers were anxiously preparing for the ceremony. Excitement was evident on every face. They understood that today's workshop was not just an ordinary event. It was an opportunity for everyone to reaffirm the values of tolerance and love. From the benches, cameras, to the sound equipment, everything was ready. Devotees from all over the world had gathered, eager to hear powerful messages from Pastor Franklin. When the ceremony officially began, Franklin stepped up to the podium, filled with faith. The stage lights illuminated his face, revealing a profoundness and strength. He started with moving stories of love and hope, stirring empathy within the audience. His warm voice resonated like a refreshing stream on a hot summer day, reaching the hearts of thousands. Love is the most powerful force on earth, Franklin declared with a radiant smile. It can break down barriers, heal wounds, and build the bridges we need to live together in peace. Applause erupted amidst the crowd's laughter. But suddenly, a sharp pain pierced Franklin's chest. He quietly took a deep breath, trying to ignore the discomfort. Not now, he thought. I have so much to say, so many people need to hear. With a surge of anxiety rising within him, he continued to speak, but the pain grew more intense, like a bitter sting in his body. Yet he pressed on, unwilling to let the aching feeling disrupt this important event. Franklin had witnessed so much in his life: pain, struggles, and the hopes that people projected onto one another. He could not let everything he had poured his heart into crumble due to a heart attack. The speech lasted nearly an hour, but the heaviness in his chest refused to leave him. As the discussion approached its conclusion, the pain spiked suddenly. Franklin slumped down, and the room immediately erupted into chaos. Shocked faces turned towards him, concern evident in their eyes. Thousands rushed toward the podium. Cries for help echoed. Medical personnel quickly arrived, but in the dense crowd, the atmosphere was truly suffocating. Everything seemed to slow down to a standstill. Franklin's heart pounded in his chest, and he felt each beat as a final call. He was taken to the emergency room, hoping to survive, hoping to have more to give. But the relentless resuscitation efforts were insufficient against the dwindling time. The doctor's voice was soft yet full of sorrow as she said, "We're sorry. We did our best." A silence enveloped the room. Everything seemed to collapse. Sobs erupted everywhere, within the shattered hearts of those present. The life of Pastor Franklin Graham had come to an end. The news of his death spread rapidly, not only within the faith community but across the globe. Media outlets reported extensively on the passing of a religious icon, a dedicated leader who had spent a lifetime building bridges between religions and diverse communities. His loss was not merely a death, it marked a painful memory for millions around the world. Pastor Franklin Graham's funeral took place in a solemn and touching atmosphere. The large church in Atlanta could not accommodate the thousands who attended. Familiar faces, those who had learned from him, gathered to offer their final goodbyes. Some cried, while others held each other tightly in their immense loss. Many religious leaders, who had accompanied him over the years, came forward to share their thoughts. They recounted memorable experiences of Franklin's influence in their lives and within the community. Heartwarming stories of love, forgiveness, and hope that he had spread resonated throughout the space, painting a vibrant picture of the life of this great man. Pastor Michael, a close friend of Franklin, stood before the crowd, emphasizing, "He taught us something more precious than we ever imagined. That is the strength of love, the power of forgiveness, and the strength of unity. He lived a life full of meaning, and it is our duty to carry on the journey he began." The ceremony concluded with attendees praying together, hoping for Franklin's soul to rest in peace. Amid tears and smiles amidst the ringing of bells, everyone realized that death could not extinguish the legacy he left behind. The ideals of love, peace, and unity would continue to live on in the hearts of all. Though Franklin Graham had departed, his faith and resilience would forever endure. His teachings would inspire future generations. He demonstrated that a charitable heart, no matter how small, could make a monumental difference in this world. Franklin has gone, but the light he brought will continue to shine like a guiding lantern for those who continue the journey of building love and hope, despite the challenges they face. He will be an integral part of the powerful stories of humanity about compassion and the yearning to live peacefully together. March 4, 2025, will forever remain a dark milestone in history, but it is also a reminder to us all that love and compassion can transcend all boundaries, enduring forever in the hearts of mankind. Thus, Pastor Franklin Graham will live on, not only in the memories of those who knew him but in the unceasing journey of love and peace around the world. Franklin Graham, born on July 14, 1952, is the son of one of the most famous evangelists of the 20th century, Billy Graham. The image of a religious family became even more vivid when looking back at Franklin's childhood, where he grew up in a home filled with love and guidance from his parents. In his early years in Charlotte, North Carolina, he witnessed many occasions when his father shared the message of God on grand stages. Billy Graham, with his warm voice and natural charisma, became a symbol of religious preaching. Franklin often accompanied his father everywhere, immersing himself in the large ceremonies where his dad was the main speaker. Next to his father, he learned that service is a sacred responsibility, and that shaped his wisdom and character. The lessons of charity and sacrifice from his father deeply resonated in Franklin's soul, paving the path of faith he would choose later. However, family life was not always perfect. During his teenage years, Franklin faced many challenges. His father was often away due to work, leaving a void in his soul. Particularly when the family faced societal questions and criticism about their career choices, Franklin felt great pressure. It made him more aware of the sacrifices required for service in religion. Franklin attended Barwick High School in North Carolina, where he excelled in sports. Although successful in athletics, his school life was not particularly easy. Franklin often struggled to focus on his studies, influenced by the immense expectations from parents and society. He not only wanted to surpass his father's achievements but also to carve out his own unique path. After graduating high school, Franklin chose to attend the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Here, he not only pursued his studies but also engaged in social and cultural extracurricular activities. Although educated in a religious family, Franklin struggled to find his faith and personal identity amidst a challenging world. During this time, Franklin participated in numerous volunteer activities and food distribution programs for the poor. These experiences broadened his perspectives on life and made him realize that religion is not just theory but also practical action. He witnessed the poverty and suffering that many people endured, further deepening his understanding of social responsibility. After graduation, Franklin had many opportunities to work in religious organizations, but he chose a challenging path. He began his ministry modestly, not as the son of a religious hero, but as someone standing firmly on his own 2 feet. He started working for Samaritan's Purse, a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing food, water, and medical assistance to those affected by disasters and war. In those early days, Franklin's job was quite laborious. He had to personally engage in every minute task, from food preparation to financial support and organizing relief trips. However, he found joy in each task, connecting with those in need. Franklin had the opportunity to travel to many war-torn and disaster-stricken countries, from areas ravaged by war in Kosovo to locations devastated by massive storms in Bangladesh. These trips not only enhanced his awareness of life but also made him genuinely realize his role in humanitarian missions. As Franklin developed Samaritan's Purse, he did not stop at providing food and medicine. He made efforts to expand the organization's activities to include education, healthcare, and community development. The Operation Christmas Child campaign, one of the organization's standout projects, has brought joy to millions of children worldwide through Christmas gifts. Franklin has been deeply involved in and led this program for many years, creating a fever among people across the globe. Rapid response to natural disasters. Throughout his career, Franklin has led many relief efforts in emergencies, from the Haiti earthquake to flooding in Pakistan. These efforts helped to affirm his status as a leader in humanitarian fields. Thanks to tireless work, Samaritan's Purse has continually grown and expanded its scope, assisting millions of people worldwide. Franklin has asserted that every small action can make a significant difference in the lives of others, creating a substantial humanitarian legacy. The life and career of Pastor Franklin Graham is not just a quest for faith but also a journey of self-affirmation, facing challenges, and building bridges between humanity. From early life experiences, lessons in education, to humanitarian efforts, he has shaped a person who lives not just for himself but for others. Franklin Graham always emphasized that love is not just an emotion but also a practical action. In his sermons, he often mentioned the valuable principles that love and compassion bring to both individuals and communities. He affirmed that anyone can inspire others through simple acts of kindness. "We are loved to love," he declared, clearly illustrating his mission to spread this message across the world. One of the memories Franklin often shares is about meeting the less fortunate. During a visit to a disaster-stricken area, he saw families living in difficult conditions, homeless. Before their hopeful eyes, he decided to not only provide them with food but also to organize a prayer service where they could share their pain and seek hope. The smiles of children receiving new clothes left a profound impression on his heart. This fight did not stop at merely providing necessities. Franklin directed Samaritan's Purse to engage in long-term sustainable development programs. The Operation Christmas Child project has brought not only joy during the Christmas season but also a bridge to achieve longer-term missions, including education, healthcare, and emotional support for children and their families. Franklin also encouraged everyone to practice compassion in their daily lives. He often shared small actions that anyone could do, from helping a neighbor, caring for the elderly, to participating in local volunteer activities. He believes that these small acts will create positive circles, spreading joy and hope. Franklin Graham has always strived to create an atmosphere of peace at the workshops and events he attended. He recognized that in a world shaken by conflict and division, building bridges between communities is crucial. He enjoys using specific stories from his past experiences to illustrate the potential for reconciliation. Peace doesn't come from a treaty. It comes from understanding and love between people. One of Franklin's notable initiatives was organizing dialogues among religious leaders from various cultures and religions. He frequently invited Muslim, Jewish, and other religious leaders to participate in his activities, aiming to build a strong root for peace. At an event in Jerusalem, he and other religious leaders prayed for peace in a place where much conflict had occurred. This event was not only a prayer session but also an important step toward building cooperative relationships in the community. Another activity program Franklin carried out was organizing workshops in tense regions. These events often included professional mediators, along with support from nonprofit organizations. Franklin wanted to help young people in impoverished rural areas find ways to express their emotions and resolve conflicts through voice and the actions of reconciliation. Franklin Graham often expresses the importance of forgiveness in his sermons. He asserts that forgiveness is the key to achieving inner peace. He does not hesitate to share his past mistakes and failures and how he learned to forgive both himself and others around him. "When we don't forgive, we imprison ourselves in chains of suffering," he said. Franklin once recounted the story of a man who had harmed his family in the past. Instead of harboring a grudge, Franklin chose to meet this person. During an intimate dinner, they had an honest conversation about the traumas they had endured. After the meeting, they prayed together, and this brought an end to the animosity, providing the reconciliation they both needed. Franklin also emphasized that forgiveness is not always an easy act. Rather, it is a journey that individuals must undertake with willingness and determination. He encourages everyone to write down the things they need to forgive, for themselves or others, and clearly acknowledge it. This small step can open a large door to healing. In difficult situations, such as survivors of natural disasters or wars, Franklin has also called for forgiveness among those affected by loss, pain, or injustice. At an event bringing together survivors in Haiti, he emphasized that the light of hope can only shine when people decide to forgive one another and move forward together. Despite growing up in a famous family, Franklin was not immune to challenges. His youth was fraught with temptations and difficulties. He experienced a crisis of identity, feeling pressure from his father's large shadow. The fame of Billy Graham sometimes made Franklin feel insecure and fearful that he would never meet the high expectations others placed on him. In his early adulthood, Franklin attended Northwestern College in Minnesota, where he discovered a passion for spreading the message of God. However, he also experienced moments of downfall. He was caught up in a life of depravity and self-destructive behavior, which disconnected him from his faith. In 1974, after a self-discovery experience, Franklin decided to return to God. This revival experience not only helped him regain his faith but also shaped his future path. He realized that life is not just about oneself but about serving the community and bringing hope to others. In 1989, Franklin officially joined Samaritan's Purse, a humanitarian organization founded by his father. Under Franklin's leadership, the organization has undertaken numerous humanitarian relief projects worldwide. He began organizing emergency relief efforts for areas affected by disasters, wars, and crises. His journey with Samaritan's Purse expanded into various fields, from medical support to education to food distribution programs. One of Franklin's hallmark initiatives is the Operation Christmas Child program. Each year, this program sends millions of Christmas gift boxes to impoverished children around the world. Each box is not merely filled with toys or supplies but carries a message of love and hope. Franklin shared, "Each gift box is like a message from heart to heart. It's a connection between people who do not know each other but choose to love one another." Alongside charitable activities, Franklin also developed his own evangelical career. He began organizing workshops and sermons focusing on messages of love, peace, and reconciliation. His workshops varied in scale and nature, from small presentations to large events attracting millions. He utilized social media platforms to convey his messages and expand his influence. In his personal life, Franklin married Jane Kai Graham in 1974. They have 3 children, Will, Roy, and Edward. Despite being busy with his ministry career, Franklin always valued and prioritized time for family. He often shared that family was his greatest inspiration in life. He emphasized that a happy family is the foundation for all success in life and career. Franklin and Kai have always demonstrated themselves to be caring parents, providing their children with a nurturing and loving educational environment. They have spent much time participating in charitable activities together and educating their children about the values of compassion, forgiveness, and love for those around them. Franklin believes that in every action of his children, the values that the family has cultivated daily shine through. Thank you all for watching the video. Please hit like, share, and subscribe to motivate me to create even better content. See you again.